Hello, my name is Sharparali. I am an attorney in California. My law firm, Sharparali Law Group, handles immigration law and debt settlement. Today I am going to discuss about an important topic, the topic of debts in our society and what can be done and what's happening to so many people out there, unfortunately. And as you know, the recession has kicked in. Many people are losing their jobs, are facing more and more hardships, and ultimately they don't know what to do. Should they pay their debts or put food on the table? Well, one of the options that many people have tried to use is a bankruptcy. Unfortunately, not everybody qualifies for bankruptcy, or not everybody want to file for a bankruptcy. So today I am going to talk about another option, debt settlement. It's not debt consolidation, it's debt settlement. So I am going to go ahead, give you a brief overview about debt settlement, and if you want to get more information about it, you can check our website, yourdebtsettlementattorney.com, or call the number on your screen. So let us talk about debt settlement.
What is debt settlement?
Debt settlement is a process of negotiating your debts with the intent of obtaining a reasonable settlement. The negotiation process is quite daunting and requires constant monitoring and being aware of the debt collection laws. A lender will usually settle with you if you meet the criteria or qualify for a debt settlement.
Should I opt for bankruptcy?
If you're not able to pay the amount due to your lender and you do not qualify for a bankruptcy, it is a good idea to look into a debt settlement. Unlike bankruptcy, a debt settlement is usually some sort of amicable resolution between the lenders and yourself. And therefore, there are no hard and fast rules what you can get on a debt settlement. In addition, it usually takes less time to recover the points on your credit. Unfortunately, this statement is not always clear because there are many other factors that can need to be considered when recovering on your credit rating. For example, if you still owe on your house other debts, possibly your credit cards you are keeping, and then the frequency you are paying, then you might be able to get a good rating on your debt.
Am I eligible for debt settlement?
If you owe more than $10,000 in credit cards, I mean $10,000, you are eligible for a debt settlement. In fact, you can also do a debt settlement on a lesser amount, but it is not recommended unless you are in a hardship situation or the debts are becoming overwhelming. The reason is that debt settlement will still affect your credit negatively. Some people might prefer just to pay their debts rather than go into a debt settlement. However, you can always go for a debt settlement if you want to.
Can I negotiate on my own?
Of course you can, and many people successfully do. There's a saying which goes like this: one who represents himself has a fool for an attorney. Basically meaning that if you represent yourself, it might not be good. Lenders are very, very good at pursuing their debts, and trying to negotiate on your own can result in not such a good deal. And the second reason that you should not do it on your own is that it can take an emotional toll on you. You also have to educate yourself about debt collection laws and debt collection practices. The other thing that is not good doing it on your own is that you will not be able to benefit from what we call the cease and desist letter. This cease and desist letter basically protects them from harassing you, and that can be obtained only if you have an attorney on board.
At what point should I start my debt settlement?
Well, you should consider debt settlement when, one, you're faced with a genuine hardship. Two, you want to protect some sort of assets from a bankruptcy situation. You are late on your credit card and you have at least some money to pay off the settlement.
What happens if I ignore the collection calls and just do not respond?
Unfortunately, many people do that, but it's not right because lenders will always try to collect from you. If you do not respond, they will sell or transfer the debt to a collection agency, which are far more aggressive than the regular financial companies. They will refer the case probably to an attorney, and at this point, they will file a lawsuit against you. Unless you have the money to pay the attorney to defend your lawsuit, the lender will obtain a judgment against you. And guess what? Once they obtain a judgment against you, they have the right to garnish your paycheck, levy your bank account, and also attach a lien on your property. Especially when you have equity present in them, they will try to get that equity out. They will also put interest and additional fees on the amount owed. So you don't want to really wait for this to happen.
What happens if the bank or the lender already had a judgment against me?
Well, you can always call us. There is no hard and fast rule, like I said, on a debt settlement because you can always try to negotiate your debts even after a judgment. Unfortunately, once they obtain a judgment, they have so much power on you, especially if you have some sort of assets. You will not want them to have this chance of having so much power. But you can still call us, we can still negotiate on your behalf.
Is it not better to do a debt consolidation?
Debt consolidation is a process of compiling your debts and put them in one amount. Debt consolidation doesn't really give you any discount on the loan. That means you will still owe the same amount. The only thing that it will do, it will put all the loans together and make you pay one amount to one place. The problem is that it's very, very bad because at the end of the day, you will end up by paying more. You will still have to pay interest. And sometimes, unfortunately, you might get into the hands of many scam artists and many bad people who are representing themselves as debt consolidation companies.
I used a debt settlement company and I ended by losing money.
Well, that's the unfortunate situation that happened to many people. I'm talking about thousands of people all over California and probably all over the United States. What has happened is that many companies found that it was a good way to make money by trying to sell debt consolidation to people. And many people don't know about it, so they went ahead and they continued paying those companies in order to be able to negotiate their debts. The truth is that they were not negotiating the debts. They were just going ahead and disciplining you technically to be paying your debts. Unfortunately, most people were not able to follow their rules and they end up by losing money on the fees of those debt consolidation companies and not be able to finish the program and stay in more debts and ultimately file for bankruptcy if they could. So debt consolidation, for personally, I don't believe it's a good idea. Of course, there are good companies out there who are helping people. So you can always check their reference and their reviews before you hire them to do a debt consolidation.
What kind of debt can be settled?
Well, there are many kinds of debts that can be settled, but what we are talking here today are unsecured debts. What are the unsecured debts? Or credit card debts. Or if your house has been foreclosed, the second loan still there, we can settle those. And if your house is still there and the house is in the water, that means you owe more on the house than it is worth, and the second loan has nothing to hold on to in terms of value, you can still negotiate for those as a debt settlement. For example, we had a client who came to us. He owed $240,000 on his second house, and we negotiated the debt. We were able to bring it to only $40,000. That means the client saved $200,000. Having said that, that doesn't mean it happens for everybody, unfortunately, but it does happen, and luckily we are able to do many of those. And you can check our stories of the cases that we have done on our website, and you will see how we have been able to accomplish this. I have tried in this video to explain to you about the basics of debt settlement. There is more to it, unfortunately, and more people are finding themselves into financial difficulties. You have a lot of options. You cannot keep living in debts, but you also, as a piece of advice, don't get into more debts. Doing a debt settlement is one way to start fresh, but it's not another way to get into more debts in order to survive. This is my final words of wisdom. Please make sure that you are disciplined in your finances. With the bad economy we have right now, there are still ways to survive. Get out of debts and move forward with your life. And I wish you all the best.